This is one doodle that can't be undid, Holmes Gillett.
Look at this ding-dong. Or should I say lack thereof. This from the Daily Mail says transgender actor, gosh, that's a mouthful. Let's just say Transactor, Elliot Page knew he wanted to be a boy at the age of 9. Juno star says he had to compromise his true gender identity to become a child actor and reveals he's undergone top surgery as he appears on the Time cover. Well, I have some questions. Number one, if you say you wanted to be a boy, that implies that there's choice. So you're saying you weren't a boy. Definitively, you were born a girl. You were born female. But you wanted to be a boy at the age of 9. So when you began acting at the age of 10, you, were still a girl, still chose lady roles or were cast as a girl. Though you came out as a teen, I believe, as a lesbian, as a queer actress. It took until the pandemic and the lockdown, Elliot says, to really put themselves in such a spotlight focus on themselves internally to realize that they were really just a boy all along. They say the 34-year-old Juno star came out as a transgender in December when he shared an emotional statement on social media while revealing his name change. Don't you mean like announcing his true name? That was always their name, I thought. Elliot, born Ellen, was born in Nova Scotia and began acting at the age of 10. Has now revealed that he realized he wanted to be a boy. So no, it was Ellen realized that she wanted to be a boy when she was 9, and Elliot is now 34, a man. That would be how you would correctly, if you were actually playing by the trans rules, that would be, you would actually respect that she was born the wrong gender, but then you'd have to say she was a female at the time, right? No, that's not how they play. It's always a boy, including in the past tense when you write about it, which is just illogical, but all of this is. He cut his hair and began embracing a male identity. However, months later, he landed his first acting role and had to make a difficult compromise. So apparently when Ellen Page was 9, she decided she would begin to identify as a boy, but then she got an acting gig. And what was that on? Like Trailer Park Boys? Wasn't she the daughter? The Umbrella Academy star is currently filming the 3rd season of the Netflix show in which he stars as a queer female character, Vanya Hargreaves. And in the first interview since coming out as a trans, Elliot, now Elliot, right? It was Ellen before, told Time that isolating during the pandemic gave him time to focus on his gender identity. So it would kind of seem like if the pandemic hadn't happened and people weren't isolated and going a little bit stir crazy, then maybe you wouldn't have people going crazy. Not saying that this person's crazy, but people have gone insane during the lockdown. Cut to this person saying, if not for the lockdown, I wouldn't have done what he's done, which is to have a top surgery, removal, a double mastectomy, removal of the boobs. Unreal. Elliot also discussed his relationship with ex-wife Emma Portner. They split in summer 2020 and divorced early this year, but remain close friends. Let's just see what they have to say about this. Trans actor Elliot Page has revealed that he knew he wanted to be a boy. That's the part I'm hung up on. I thought it wasn't a preference. I thought you were born a boy and you were just in the wrong body. No, not for Elliot. Elliot's choosing to tell you it was a choice all along. I wanted to be a boy, and so badly that at 9 years old I cut my hair, but I got a job as a child actor, so I had to compromise my true gender identity in order to pursue a career as a child actor. The 34-year-old is now speaking out about his decades-long struggle with his gender in a new interview with Time, his first since he made the decision to publicly come out as a transgender and non-binary in December, admitting that he felt he had to hide his gender in order to achieve success in Hollywood. Wait, you're saying Hollywood favors women? Surely you're not saying that if you were a man, Hollywood would treat you differently than if you were a woman. Elliot, who also shared that he has undergone top surgery, says he first felt like a boy when he was 9 years old. So you wanted to be a boy, you felt like a boy. You know how many girls will say that? because they have boyfriends or because they just are a little bit more tomboyish before they go through puberty, and sometimes even after. But do you know how many women grow out of that? Virtually all of them, if they are left alone. But no, you dose yourself, you cut your hair, you cut your body apart, and, well, I guess, yeah, compromise is not the least of the ways I would describe it. I felt like a boy, I wanted to be a boy, I would ask my mom if I could be someday. But just, yeah, you know what, I asked my mom if I could be a superhero someday. That sounds like I'm trivializing this, then so be it. Just months after he was allowed to cut his hair for the first time, Elliot landed his first professional acting job in a Canadian TV movie, Pit Pony, which required him to look and act again like a stereotypical little girl, forcing him to grow his hair out again. I became a professional actor at the age of 10, and pursuing that passion came with a difficult compromise. Of course, I had to look a certain way, he says. Now, just take joy, giggles, I don't know. The reality is that memes create themselves, and this just happens to be the double issue of Time. So this is Elliot gracing the cover of Time with a beautifully, elegantly posed ankle and I mean, this is just... I'm fully who I am. Actor, Elliot Page says, in the fight for trans equality. No one's telling this person that they don't have equality, that there's not equal protection under the law, that the civil rights don't exist the same for them now as they did before. But notice that their opinion of their culture, their surroundings, their society, their Hollywood does treat them differently. They had to hide this for decades, hide wanting to be a boy, would rather just lie and be a girl, because Hollywood favors that. That's not me saying it, that's this person, that's them saying it. So interesting to hear from the person who played a girl getting pregnant too early, wanted to just desperately be a boy the entire time, but could never say, because Hollywood would throw them out. I thought Hollywood was all about inclusivity. This says the actor who was then encouraged to act like a girl by his mother, Martha, who is the daughter of a minister and felt that she was doing what's best for her child by urging her to behave in a particular way. Martha, you were right. And Martha is, however, now fully supportive of Elliot's decision to come out. Yeah, because she's 34. The mom's like, Jesus, do I still have to answer this question for you? Oh, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, Ellen. That's Martha. She wants me to be who I am and supports me fully. Quote, it is a testament to how people really change. Elliot opened up about one intimate aspect of his transition during his interview, revealing that he'd already undergone top surgery and was in fact recovering from the procedure when he publicly came out as transgender. So when Ellen became Elliot publicly and forever renounced the moniker of Ellen Page because Ellen is a woman and Elliot has always been a man, and we should respect that, he said. He had already undergone the top surgery. That is a train leaving the station, no brakes. It's already done. So I guess that's ballsy. Can you say that? The actor said that the results of the procedure had completely transformed his life and helped him feel like his true self for the first time since he endured the total hell of puberty early on in his life. Does this person not realize that puberty is like a version of hell for everyone? And what did Donald Trump say, that his successful years after puberty was like his own Vietnam because of how many ladies he was slaying? I understand, it's hilarious that this woman would have, or I'm sorry, that this person would say that puberty is a living and total hell for them is somehow different for anyone else. As a teen, Elliot was not only going through difficult physical changes to his body, he was also doing it in the public eye. Yeah, you were a girl going through puberty as a teen star. I feel for you as far as that goes, but to say, oh, I was secretly a boy the whole time too, I don't know, you never said that then. You can say that it's a convenient cover now. This is sad, in a way, just only because you have someone who had everything they needed to be successful, and they still couldn't find happiness in it. They had to find a way to destroy what was given to them as a blessing. I mean, it's a blessing to be someone who is sought after for a talent that you can share with people and make people happy with. Ultimately, if you're an actor and you just want to do the right things and you're not a Hollywood sellout, soulless, demonite, then it's pretty easy to just be happy and live a good, uncompromised life. But if you become sick, and then people enable that sickness and feed it and call it a special attribute about you that's desirable and not something that you need to monitor or maybe medicate, then you get this. You have someone who is willfully dismembering themselves. You can call it self-mutilation. You can call it body transmorphia or whatever. They call it a bottom surgery, top surgery. The reality is you're dismembering yourself. And you want to see the person that you remind me of. It's the other example of the crazy world that we've gotten to in today's age, where in one hand you have a celebrity being honored and idolized for dismembering themselves in public, cheered for, adored, glorified, glamorized, etc. And in the other hand, we are releasing, and not we being the United States, but we, like the world, humanity, is releasing back onto itself a nanny, a woman who has been in prison, who had decapitated a 4-year-old little girl who she was tasked with watching. A nanny who decapitated a girl, 4 years old, then carried her head through the streets screaming Allahu Akbar, will be free after just 5 years in a psychiatric ward after doctors say that they cured her. Yeah, and we'll keep this one short. This is a nanny. If you don't remember, a few years back, a nanny was seen in the streets. This is her carrying around a decapitated head of a 4-year-old girl that she was supposed to be watching. She was shouting Allahu Akbar all throughout the streets of Moscow and will be free after only 5 years in a psych ward because the doctors said we cured her. This is the little girl. Do you think this is ever cured? Someone that runs around screaming, I am a terrorist. I am a terrorist. She'll be set free. She's literally an insane woman who screamed that she's a terrorist, who cut off a little girl's head of only 4 years old. Is cured, they say. So it's not just celebrities dismembering themselves in public. Any woman can commit any crime against another woman, including themselves, and we will adore it and glorify it. And we have to talk about it. We have to change this. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is what I thought. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to click one of the links in the description, that is how you can support us further. And as always, thank you for watching and helping me keep America afloat.